What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JC's Learning Edge for another Friday deep dive. Now, last week, and we finished it up this Wednesday, we talked about resilience and how, we can't allow setbacks to define us. And we need to understand that, they actually refine us and it helps us stay aligned, it helps us stay aligned with our overall goal. Now, this week, we're going to shift gears a little bit because once you built the resilience, the next step is learning how to think ahead. So today we're diving into strategic thinking, seeing beyond the moment, because success isn't just about reacting well to what's happening now. It's about anticipating what's next. Let's get into it. That leads me to my first point. Strategic thinkers don't just see what's happening, they see what's developing. One of the biggest traps people fall into is living only in reaction mode. You wake up, check your phone, respond to problems, and spend the whole day putting out fires. But strategic thinkers, they don't just see what's in front of them, they see patterns. They notice shifts, trends, and behaviors before they're fully formed. You see, when you develop strategic awareness, you stop living from emergency to emergency. You start recognizing, hold on, wait a minute, this situation looks familiar. I've seen this pattern before. And that realization allows you to plan ahead instead of panic. Strategic thinking requires observation and patience. Sometimes you have to slow down long enough to ask, what's really happening here? If I keep doing this for 6 months, where does it lead? If I stop doing this, what opens up instead? When you think like that, your decisions stop being random. They become intentional. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding intelligently. I'm gonna say that again. When you start to think like this, your decisions stop being random. They become intentional. You stop reacting emotionally and you start responding intelligently. So ask yourself, am I just surviving my days or am I shaping my future through the choices I'm making today? And that leads me to my second point. Every move should be connected to a bigger picture. Every move should be connected to a bigger picture. Strategic thinkers play the long game. They understand that not every step will feel glamorous. Some steps are just necessary. Sometimes the position you're in right now doesn't look like the dream, but it's preparing you for it. Strategic people recognize the value of every season. They don't waste lessons because they understand every decision, every connection, and every challenge is a part of a larger setup. When you start connecting your actions to a bigger purpose, you begin making value-based decisions instead of emotional ones. I'm gonna say that again. When you start connecting your actions to a bigger purpose, you begin making value based decisions instead of emotional ones. You'll say, this may not pay off right now, but it aligns with where I'm going. You say, this might not make sense to everybody, but it fits my future. And that's how visionaries move. They can be misunderstood today because they're focused on tomorrow. Man, I feel like we got a lot of quotables in this. That's how visionaries move. They can be misunderstood today because they're focused on tomorrow. And here's the truth, if you don't know where you're going, you'll keep repeating cycles. And I know because I've gone through it. But once your long term goal becomes clear, your daily decisions start to follow the pattern of that vision. Every yes, every no, every collaboration, every sacrifice, all of it begins to line up. So pause and ask, does does this move me closer to the life I'm building, or is it keeping me stuck in the one I'm supposed to outgrow? And that leads me to my third point. Slow decisions build strong results. In a fast paced world, everyone wants instant answers, but strategic thinkers understand the value of timing. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Um, and just because something looks good now doesn't mean it's good for the long term. Strategic thinkers don't rush, they calculate. They gather information, they observe outcomes, and they think through impact before reacting. And that's, some people say, "Oh, you're hesitating." That's not hesitation. That's wisdom. And moving slower gives you the chance to make moves that last. You're not chasing validation. You're protecting your vision. But here's what happens. When you slow down, you see what most people miss. You notice the gaps, the opportunities, and the shortcuts others overlooked. A lot of people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack strategy. They moved fast when they should have paused. They said yes when they should have waited. And sometimes the most powerful move you can make is the one you don't make. I'm gonna let that sink in. Sometimes the most powerful move you can make is the one that you don't make. You're not behind, you're building. You are not behind, you're building. And I'm speaking to myself also. You are not behind, you're building. And the person who plans with intention always outlasts the one who acts from impulse. So don't confuse movement with momentum. It's not how fast you go, it's how focused you move. It's not how fast you go, it's how focused you move. And if you've been enjoying this series and you want to take your mindset and focus, and time management even further, grab my book, Graduate in Half the Time: The Secrets of Self-Paced Learning. I got a flyer now. And listen, it's not just for students. Don't get intimidated by the title. It's for anyone serious about reaching goals faster with strategy, clarity, and purpose. Listen, you'll learn how to break goals down, manage your time, and stay consistent even when that motivation fades. And you can get it right now on Amazon in paperback or ebook version. And you can scan the QR code right now. So I want you to I want you to remember, success doesn't happen by accident. It's built through strategy. Strategic thinkers see beyond the moment. They understand that what they do today is a seed that shows up tomorrow. I want you to tell yourself that right now. What I do today is a seed that shows up tomorrow. And as you go through this week, I want you to slow down and ask yourself, what decisions am I making right now that future me will thank me for? Because when you learn to think strategically, you stop chasing opportunities and you start creating them. And that being said, join me next Wednesday for our midweek motivation as we continue this series. And next week, I really believe that's going to be our last little couple lessons on this series, positioning my mind for success. And again, make sure you don't come alone. I really believe this series has been impactful. It's been encouraging, and blessing me. And even though I'm the one teaching it, it's been really good. So make sure you bring somebody with you, someone who's ready, to get to the next level, someone who's ready to think higher and move smarter. And remember, success doesn't shout, it shows up. And that being said, I'll see you next week. Enjoy your weekend, and really apply these strategies that I'm giving you. Learn how to think like a strategic thinker and not just live your life reacting.